I gifted them some cleats. Some warm, some didn't, but I was like, okay, this is just my little appreciation gift to them. Because they don't be having a lot of stuff.
Was Shedeur Sanders really just flexing when he bragged about his custom Nike cleats selling out? Turns out it wasn't talk. It was history in the making. Nike is already lining up a record-breaking extension that could crown him the highest paid rookie endorser ever. But while his jersey is flying off shelves, the whole league isn't exactly cheering. Behind the scenes, insiders say Nike is stunned by one of the biggest rookie sales explosions the NFL has ever seen. The sportswear giant is reportedly preparing a mega deal that could completely flip the script on athlete endorsements.
$150 million in rookie jersey sales for Shedeur Sanders, which means he's going to commission $14 million. He only made $4.6 million from his rookie contract. So he's already made more than most second, third, whatever.
Here's why everyone's jaw is dropping. After Sanders' preseason debut against the Carolina Panthers, the numbers came in, and they were insane. $250 million in rookie jersey sales. That instantly made him the top-selling rookie since his father, Deion Primetime Sanders, had the league on lock decades ago.
Sign for anybody out there that feels like they've been done wrong. You are always going to end up on the right side if you are a good person. Shedeur has been doing nothing but keeping quiet, working, minding his business, driving the speed limit hopefully, and doing everything he needs to do to prepare for this upcoming season.
To put that into perspective, most rookies struggle to sell a fraction of that in their first season. Sanders hit that number within weeks. This isn't just impressive, it's rewriting how the NFL views rookie marketability and fan power. And the twist? Sanders isn't just cashing checks from a basic rookie contract. Thanks to a slick little clause in his deal called the Prime Equity Clause, he actually gets a cut of every single dollar made off his name. Jerseys, sponsorships, promos, you name it. That means from jerseys alone, he's set to pocket a jaw-dropping $14 million, more than triple his entire 4-year rookie salary of $4.6 million. This isn't rookie business as usual, it's a masterclass. While most newcomers are just fighting to keep a roster spot, Sanders came in with a whole business empire mindset.
Clause is called Prime Equity. This clause gives Sanders a percentage of revenue generated from merchandise, sponsorships, and promotions linked to his name and likeness. That's what I said. It wasn't that his character was stupid. They was trying
He's
to
so smart.
Yeah, that's why he got picked so far back, because apparently his agents wanted this clause in the contract.
He's not just playing football, he's branding himself like a superstar entertainer. And here's the wild part. Most 5th-round draft picks fade into the background, lucky to even land a second contract. But Shadeur? He's already out-earning players drafted way ahead of him, before even starting a single regular season game. This is no longer just a football story, it's a straight-up shift in how young athletes run the money game. Nike knows this isn't just another sponsorship, it's generational. Their partnership with Sanders officially kicked off in August 2024, when he became Nike's first ever NIL football athlete. That move was bold, but Sanders made it look genius. Coming off his monster seasons at Colorado, with 4,134 passing yards and 37 touchdowns in 2024, Nike saw more than stats. They saw a legacy player with star power baked into his DNA.
The clause is called Prime Equity. This clause gives Sanders a percentage of revenue generated from merchandise, sponsorships, and promotions linked to his name and likeness. If he becomes like a superstar, he could be the richest NFL player.
The move echoed history too. His dad's legendary 1990s Nike deal that birthed the Air Diamond Turf sneakers, one of the most iconic cross-sport shoes ever. Now, decades later, Nike is playing the same game, but bigger. They're betting Shadeur isn't just another quarterback, he's the next face of the culture. Despite being hyped as a top quarterback prospect, Shedeur Sanders shockingly slid all the way to the 5th round, 144th overall to the Cleveland Browns. Many whispered it was because of his bold contract demands, but Nike never blinked. Months before the draft, in April 2025, they went all in, breaking silence on socials just to blast Sanders across every feed with exclusive gear drops. Nike flooded timelines with slick posts. Sanders laced in all-gray Nike Air DT Max 96 and matching Vapor Edge 360 DT cleats. Captions read like poetry. Nothing left to do, Q. You 4.24 inches in poetry in motion.
Shouldn't be, but it will be. Because I think that there's a lot of people that's looking for an excuse for him to fall. That doesn't mean it's the Cleveland Browns.
This wasn't just hype, it was a chess move. By then, Sanders' NIL valuation had already hit $6.5 million, making him the highest valued college athlete in the game. He had Gatorade, Beats by Dre, and even Mercedes-Benz deals, but Nike was the anchor. And those jersey sales? They didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were the result of calculated storytelling, non-stop branding, and Shadeur actually backing it up on the field. When he made his preseason debut against the Carolina Panthers, Sanders proved why Nike bet the house. He went 14 for 23, throwing 138 yards and 2 touchdowns, showing the calm and accuracy that made him a college star. Hours later, Nike Football dropped an ad on X. Only a matter of time, paired with Sanders flashing his signature watch celebration. The ad exploded. 196,000 likes, thousands of reposts, viral overnight.
Thinking about is the fact that because people had a problem with his daddy for a multitude of reasons, it affected his draft stock. And so you have folks out here that are not rooting for this brother, but he's accustomed to adversity. He's accustomed to defying the odd.
That's the kind of organic marketing cash can't buy. But the most jaw-dropping part? It isn't just the money. It's the system he broke. Thanks to his revolutionary prime equity clause, Sanders owns his content across Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, even behind-the-scenes footage rights. That means he's cashing in on every post, every clip, every celebration. No rookie in NFL history has ever had this level of digital ownership. The NFL is rattled. Rookie contracts are supposed to keep control in the owner's hands. But Sanders flipped it, walking in not as an employee, but as a business partner. If more players demand the same, the entire financial structure of pro football could crack wide open. And here's where Nike's genius shines. Their marketing for Shadeur wasn't just endorsements. It was an all-out revolution. They built his brand like a superstar crossover act. Digital campaigns, product drops, and emotional storytelling that hit every corner of the culture. The roots of it all go back to his NIL deal reveal, a joint Instagram post with Nike that hinted at something bigger, apparel collabs and footwear built on legacy. That legacy? His father, Deion Primetime Sanders, whose Nike Air D-Max 96 sneakers became legends of the 90s.
What you bring to the table matters. The level of cachet, your gifts, your skills, etc. do have an impact, but also relationships or lack thereof, perceptions, first impressions, all of these kind of things. Whether it was the workout, whether it was his dad talking about, oh, if my son go to a certain place, I ain't gonna be down for that.
Shadeur brought them back in fresh colorways, rocking them at key events like his pro day. That nostalgia mixed with new school energy lit up fans young and old. And Nike's boldest play? Their pre-draft blitz. While other brands sat on the sidelines waiting to see where he'd land, Nike went full throttle before the draft even happened. They bet on Shadeur, not the franchise that picked him. That gamble turned a 5th-round rookie into a marketing phenom, leaving the entire sports industry scrambling to catch up. Nike didn't just hype Shedeur Sanders. They built an entire empire around his name. Every post came with motivational captions, fueling the anticipation for his pro debut. Their commitment showed in the details too. Custom all-gray Nike Air DT Max 96 and Vapor Edge 360 DT cleats, stamped with his S-squared logo, a slick $ square that nodded to his number, 2 jersey and screamed business-first mindset. When Sanders stepped onto the NFL field for his preseason debut on August 9th, 2025, the marketing machine hit another level. He went 14 for 23 with 138 yards and a touchdown, and within hours, Nike dropped a polished ad across Instagram and X, captioned "Only a matter of time with Sanders in Brown's gear." The campaign exploded, 11 million impressions in under 24 hours, 4 times their usual engagement. This wasn't just marketing, it was a cultural event. Nike's merchandising playbook for Sanders might be the most aggressive rookie rollout ever. Jerseys everywhere. Cleveland Browns, Shadeur Sanders. 2025 draft edition jerseys dropped in men's, women's, and youth sizes, $130 to $175, with real NFL shields, mesh ventilation, and performance styling.
The very best in Adam Schefter. There is none better, okay? And when you heard them talking about him, you heard folks calling teams, the Adam Schefters, the Lewis Riddicks of the world, Ryan Clarks of the world, others, you as well. And you heard people saying, we ain't taking him. before the draft even took place?
They weren't just jerseys, they were status symbols. The apparel line pushed it further. Graphic tees with Sanders branding priced at $30 to $50, so even the younger fans could buy in while still dripping Nike's premium aesthetic. Distribution? Maximum saturation. Dick's Sporting Goods, eBay, Rally House. They made sure no fan could escape the shadow wave. But the crown jewel, his shoes. Limited edition Air D Max 96 and Pro Day Vapor Edge cleats, priced at $150 to $200. These weren't just kicks, they were collector's pieces, merging Dayon's 90s sneaker legacy with Shadow's fresh identity. Nike didn't just sell sneakers, they sold family heritage, and they didn't stop there. Social media lit up beyond Nike's own posts. Influencers and insiders like Jordan Schultz hyping his debut ads and Soul Retriever spotlighting Times Square billboards amplified Shadow into a viral storm. That Times Square campaign, a monster move. His signature watch celebration blown up across the world's most famous billboard real estate, putting him in the same lane as entertainment icons. The results? A single Nike football post pulled nearly 200,000 likes and thousands of reposts in a day. Fans jumped into the comments, some shouting, tried to humble him and created a monster, while skeptics accused Nike of manufacturing a superstar. Either way, it had everybody talking. And here's the real disruption. Reports say Sanders locked in royalty percentages on merchandise in both his NIL and rookie deals. Not just checks, ownership. That means every jersey and sneaker sold keeps paying him long after game day. Nike didn't just sign an athlete. They built a cultural icon with equity in his own brand. Nike's play with Shedeur Sanders wasn't just an endorsement, it was a power move. They created a partnership model where both sides cash out together. Sanders wins, Nike wins. It's locked in. And whispers are already buzzing about a signature shoe line, with early teasers like the LL2C and Proto 92 rumored to drop in 2025. This deal isn't just big, it's building toward empire status. But Nike didn't stop at football. They positioned Sanders as an international face for ambition and hustle, someone who appeals even to audiences who don't care about the NFL. The message is bigger than touchdowns. Fight through adversity, build your brand, and secure your future. Behind the curtain, Nike's using next-level analytics, tracking engagement, conversions, and even fan sentiment across every platform.
Is the narrative by how you ball.
But that,
Like it's that simple.
which to his point is keeping the main thing.
Every ad, every drop, every post is fine-tuned in real time. It's not just marketing, it's sports science fused with pop culture domination. Still, there's a dangerous flip side. Critics warn Nike may be pushing the hype faster than Sanders can back it up on the field. But jersey sales tell another story. Fans don't care. They're buying into the legend, whether or not the stat sheet justifies it. The ripple effects across the sports industry are massive. Rival brands are scrambling, inflating NIL deals, and rewriting contracts just to find the next Shadow. Endorsements are shifting from quick checks to full-on business partnerships, blurring the line between athletes and entrepreneurs. At its core, Nike's strategy represents a new era. Shared value, shared control. They're not just squeezing athletes for clout. They're building empires with them. It's athlete empowerment on a corporate stage. Fans see it too, and today's audiences demand authenticity. They don't just want stars, they want stars who own their shine. But here's the twist. The same flash that built Sanders' hype is also fueling Backlash. As his preseason debut made headlines and jerseys sold out, storm clouds started forming. Anonymous execs painted him as arrogant, entitled, and impossible to coach. Stories surfaced of him blaming teammates for mistakes and carrying horrible body language at the combine. Some even blasted his "look at me" vibe, pointing to the diamond-studded watch he flashed during games. Yes, the same watch that became his signature celebration and brand logo. Insiders say this wasn't just scouting, it was a coordinated effort to sink his draft stock. It worked. Instead of going early, Sanders slid all the way to the 5th round, and now the whispers are growing louder. Is the NFL establishment quietly trying to humble the league's most hyped rookie before his career even starts? One NFL executive even suggested Shedeur Sanders should separate from his father to learn humility, a comment that revealed just how much his family ties were viewed as baggage instead of blessings. The media machine has turned brutal, fueled by anonymous leaks painting Sanders as arrogant before he's even had a chance to prove himself. The Guardian called it out for what it is: the cruel reality of the draft industry, where faceless insiders destroy reputations with whispers and lies if a prospect doesn't fit the traditional mold. In the language, loaded with racial undertones, many see it as a modern-day plantation mindset, where outspoken black athletes who demand fair deals are punished for not knowing their place. Sanders pushed for ownership of his media rights and bold contract clauses, and suddenly he became a target for smear campaigns. Then came June 2025, 2 speeding citations, 91 miles per hour in a 65 and 101 miles per hour in a 60. Cleveland GM Andrew Berry blasted it as not smart and dangerous. Sanders missed court once, later paid his fines, and admitted on Twitch he made bad choices. But critics pounced, using it to fuel their narrative that he's reckless and immature. The double standard was glaring. Teammates like Myles Garrett had similar tickets without the firestorm. But for Sanders, the incidents became proof to haters that he cared more about flash than football. The backlash wasn't just about the tickets, it was about feeding an already hostile storyline. Social media made it worse. Trolls twisted every move, and Antonio Brown poured gasoline on the fire with vulgar posts tearing Sanders down instead of talking football. His attacks were extreme, but they reflected the wider culture. Big names trying to drag Sanders just to stay relevant. Analysts piled on too, calling him hero ball prone and pointing to 94 sacks in 2 college seasons. Supporters fired back, saying it was Colorado's weak O-line, not Sanders' decision-making, but the debate only added to the storm. Now, the Browns aren't just managing a quarterback, they're juggling a PR circus. Sanders brings unmatched attention, but also non-stop drama that risks overshadowing the team. And when he trolled GM Andrew Berry after his preseason debut, saying, "You're not fully proud, huh?" he proved he's not running from controversy, he's leaning into it. The danger? If the noise keeps building, it could chip away at the very empire Sanders has been building. Sponsors want stability and safe faces for their brands. If the scandals keep stacking up, those multi-million-dollar deals could vanish overnight. And beyond the money, the psychological toll is real. Constant scrutiny, non-stop criticism, every move dissected. This might be the biggest battle Sanders faces. Not the hits on the field, but the hits to his confidence and his identity.
And I'm rooting for the brother, and I hope that he does well tonight.
For most young athletes, the jump from college to the pros is already brutal. But Shedeur Sanders, he's walking into the NFL carrying business deals, family expectations, and media pressure that would crush even seasoned vets. And now, injuries are entering the chat. His preseason oblique injury, labeled minor, was a reminder of how fast everything can flip. One setback, and suddenly critics have fresh ammo to question his toughness and dedication. Inside Cleveland's QB room, the battle is no joke. Sanders is grinding for reps against Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and rookie Dylan Gabriel. On paper, Sanders already looks sharper, posting a 106.8 preseason rating, compared to Gabriel's shaky 66.1 with an interception. But politics and depth chart loyalty could still hold him back, no matter how good his numbers look. The real test? Whether Sanders can block out the chaos and prove he's more than hype. His future depends on how he handles criticism, how he grows from mistakes, and whether he can show his teammates he's chasing team wins, not just brand power. If he slips, the narrative flips, and suddenly he's another what could have been story. But the stakes stretch beyond Sanders himself. This is about whether young athletes can rewrite power structures, own their brands, control their deals, and still deliver on the field. Every snap, every sideline moment, every interview becomes a referendum. Is Sanders the face of athlete empowerment, or a warning sign that the balance of the NFL is in danger? And the louder the spotlight gets, the harder it'll be to keep focus. As Stephen A. Smith put it, Sanders' biggest challenge isn't just reading defenses, it's learning to silence the noise. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and click on one of the videos on your screen for more content just like this.